Today we come to 4.16.160. And this sutta, I won't read out the whole sutta, just a portion of it. The Buddha said, monks, these four things conduce to the confusion, to the vanishing away of Sat Dhamma, true Dhamma. What for? In this case, monks, the monks get by heart a text that is wrongly taken, with words and sense that are wrongly arranged. Now monks, if words and sense are wrongly arranged, the meaning also is misleading. This is the first thing which conduces to the confusion, to the vanishing away of Sat Dhamma, true Dhamma. Then again, the monks are difficult to speak to, possessed of qualities which make them difficult to speak to. They are stubborn, incapable of being instructed. This monks is the second thing. Then again, those monks who are widely learned, versed in the doctrines, who know Dhamma by heart, who know Vinaya by heart, who know the summaries by heart, these do not dutifully hand on a text to another. Thus, when they pass away, the text is cut down at the root. It has nothing to stand on. This is the third thing. Yet again, the elder monks live in abundance. They are lax, taking the lead in backsliding, shirking the burden of the secluded life. They set going no effort to attain the unattained, to win the goal not won, to realize the unrealized. So the generation that follows comes to follow their view. That generation also lives in abundance, is lax, takes the lead in backsliding to the worldly life, shirking the burden of the secluded life. They set going no effort to attain the unattained, to win the goal not won, to realize the unrealized. This, monks, is the fourth thing which conduces to the confusion, to the vanishing away of Sat Dhamma, true Dhamma. And that's the end of what I want to read in this sutta. So here, this is one of the few suttas where the Buddha gives the reasons why the true Dhamma would vanish away in the future. The first one is the words and sense of the Dhamma are wrongly arranged, and the meaning also is misleading. This one could refer to the wrong teachings that the Buddha predicted would appear 500 years after the Buddha's parinibbana, and because of what the Buddha calls counterfeit teachings, false teachings that appear and multiplied. So this is one reason for the vanishing of the way of the true Dhamma. So we have to study the Dhamma and know which are the wrong teachings. It is not easy because we have to study quite a lot to know which teachings are contradictory, which teachings are consistent. And if we do that, we'll find that the earliest four Nikayas, those are the books which are very consistent, whereas later books, there are contradictions in the later books. And the second reason is that the monks are not interested in the training. The Buddha always talked about the training for a monk, Sikkhapada, the practice of the holy life. And there are some monks who are stubborn and they refuse to change their bad habits. They won't take instructions. And so because of that, they cause people to lose faith in the Sangha. And when people lose faith in the Sangha, they turn away from the religion. So that is why, in the forest tradition in Thailand, they don't ordain somebody very easily. Somebody who wants to ordain as a monk, first they come in as what they call a pakao, one who wears the white cloth. And that is 8 precepts. They keep the 8 precepts for a minimum of 6 months. And then after that only, they are given the Samanera precepts, and then after at least 6 months as a Samanera, then they ordain in the higher ordination. So this gives time to examine the candidate, to see whether that person is really suitable for the higher ordination. Then the third reason is that the senior monks who are learned in the Dhamma Vinaya, they don't hand the text to another. In the earlier days, the Dhamma, the suttas, was not put down in writing, so it was transmitted verbally from one monk to another. So if the earlier monks, if they were lazy and they did not take the trouble to memorize the suttas and hand down from one generation to another, the suttas would have disappeared. So now the suttas are in writing, but now we have to take the trouble to teach the Dhamma Vinaya, the suttas and the Vinaya, so that they are well propagated, so that people know the true teachings of the Buddha, so people are not confused with wrong teachings. So it is our duty to teach and also to spread by perhaps printing of books, by tapes, etc. Then the fourth reason for the disappearance of the true Dhamma is the senior monks, Theras. They live in abundance, they are lax, they take the lead in backsliding, and they don't make any effort to attain the goal of the holy life, which is to end our suffering, to end the round of rebirths. So because the senior monks set that example, the junior monks also follow them and become lax, live in luxury, etc. So this is another reason why the true Dhamma would pass away. So we have to be careful of these reasons and try to lead our life and conduct ourselves so that we can preserve the true Dhamma. Now we come to Sutta number 4.18.180. On a certain occasion, the Exalted One was staying in Bhoga Nagara at the Ananda shrine. Then the Exalted One addressed the monks, saying, "Monks." "Yes, Lord," replied those monks to the Exalted One. The Exalted One said, "Monks, I will teach you these 4 great authorities. Do you listen to it? Carefully give your minds to it, and I will speak." The Exalted One said this. And what monks are the 4 great authorities? In this case, monks, a monk might say, face to face with the Exalted One, "Your Reverence, did I hear it? Face to face with him, did I receive it? This is Dhamma, this is Vinaya, this is the Master's teaching." I'll just stop here for a moment just to comment. This Dhamma Vinaya is the Master's teaching. In the suttas, you'll find that the Buddha always referred to his teachings as Dhamma Vinaya, and here you will get to see what is Dhamma Vinaya. And as I've mentioned before, the word Tripitaka or Tipitaka was never mentioned by the Buddha in the suttas. He always mentioned his teachings as Dhamma Vinaya. Now the Buddha continued. "Now monks, the words of that monk are neither to be welcomed nor scorned, but without welcoming, without scorning, the words and syllables thereof are to be closely scrutinized, laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya. If, when thus laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya, they lie not along with Sutta and agree not with Vinaya, to this conclusion must you come. Surely this is not the word of the Exalted One, Arahant, the fully enlightened one, and it was wrongly taken by that monk. So reject it, monks." Herein again, a monk might say, "Face to face with the Exalted One, Your Reverence, did I hear it? Face to face with him did I receive it? This is Dhamma, this is Vinaya, This is the Master's teaching. Now the words of that monk are neither to be welcomed nor scorned, but if, when laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya, they lie along with Sutta and agree with Vinaya, to this conclusion must you come. Surely this is the word of the Exalted One. And it was rightly taken by that monk. Then bear this in mind as the first great authority. Then again a monk might say, in such and such a monastery resides a Sangha, an order of monks, together with an elder monk, a Thera, a leader. Face to face with that Sangha, I heard it. Face to face I received it. This is Dhamma, this is Vinaya, this is the Master's teaching. Now the words of that monk are neither to be welcomed nor scorned, but if, when laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya, they lie not along with Sutta and agree not with Vinaya, to this conclusion must you come. Surely this is not the word of the Exalted One, and it was wrongly taken by that Sangha of monks. So do you reject it, monks? But on the other hand, a monk might say, in such and such a monastery resides a Sangha of monks, together with an elder monk, a leader. Face to face with that order, I heard it. Face to face I received it. This is Dhamma, this is Vinaya, this is the Master's teaching. Now the words of that monk are neither to be welcomed nor scorned. This is, but if, when laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya, those words lie along with Sutta and agree with Vinaya, to this conclusion must you come. Surely this is the word of the Exalted One, and it was rightly taken by that Sangha of monks. This monks is the second great authority to bear in mind. Yet again a monk might say, in such and such a monastery resides a great number of elder monks, widely learned, versed in the doctrines, who know Dhamma by heart, who know Vinaya by heart, who know the summaries by heart. Face to face with those elder monks, I heard it. Face to face did I receive it. This is Dhamma, this is Vinaya, this is the Master's teaching. Now the words of that monk are neither to be welcomed nor scorned, but if, when laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya, they lie not along with Sutta and agree not with Vinaya, to this conclusion must you come. Surely this is not the word of the Exalted One. It was wrongly taken by those elders. So do you reject it, monks? Herein again a monk might say, in such and such a monastery resides a great number of elder monks, widely learned, versed in the doctrines, who know Dhamma by heart, who know Vinaya by heart, who know the summaries by heart. Face to face with those elder monks I heard it. Face to face did I receive it. This is Dhamma, this is Vinaya, this is the Master's teaching. Now the words of that monk are neither to be welcomed nor scorned. Now, but if, when laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya, they lie along with Sutta and agree with Vinaya, then to this conclusion must you come. Surely this is the word of that Exalted One, and it was rightly taken by those elders. This monks is the third great authority. Herein again a monk might say, in such and such a monastery resides a single elder monk of wide learning, versed in the doctrines, who knows Dhamma by heart, who knows Vinaya by heart, who knows the summaries by heart. Face to face with that elder monk I heard it. Face to face did I receive it. This is Dhamma, this is Vinaya, this is the Master's teaching. Now monks, the words of that monk are neither to be welcomed nor scorned, but without scorning them, the words and syllables thereof are to be closely scrutinized, laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya. If, when laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya, they lie not along with Sutta and agree not with Vinaya, to this conclusion must you come. Surely this is not the word of the Exalted One, the Arahant, the fully enlightened one, and it was wrongly taken by that elder monk. So do you reject it, monks? If however a monk should say, in such and such a monastery resides a single elder monk of wide learning, versed in the doctrines, who knows Dhamma by heart, who knows Vinaya by heart, etc. And then the words of the monk are neither to be welcomed nor scorned, but they should be laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya. And if, when laid beside Sutta and compared with Vinaya, they lie along with Sutta and agree with Vinaya, to this conclusion must you come. Surely this is the word of that exalted one, the Arahant, the fully enlightened one, and it was rightly taken by that elder monk. This monk is the fourth great authority. So these monks are the four great authorities. That's the end of the Sutta. So here the Buddha is saying, suppose a monk says, he quotes four different cases. The first one is he says such and such is the teaching of the Buddha, and he says the first one he says he heard it from the Buddha himself. If that is so, then you must compare it with the suttas and the Vinaya. And then the second case is if the monk says that he heard it from a sangha of monks with an elder monk, a thera, and the whole sangha says that this is the Buddha's teaching, such and such is the Buddha's teaching, then it is to be compared with Dhamma and Vinaya. And then the third one is, if a monk says that in a monastery there are a great number of theras, elder monks, widely learned, and they say that such and such is the Buddha's teachings, again, it must be compared with Sutta and Vinaya. And the fourth one is, the monk says that in a monastery there is a single elder monk who is widely learned, and he claims that such and such is the Buddha's teachings. Then, without welcoming or scorning what he says, his words are to be compared with the Sutta and Vinaya. And after comparing with Sutta and Vinaya, then only you can come to the conclusion whether it is the Buddha's teachings or not. So here, in this sutta, you find is very clearly stated that Dhamma means the suttas, because when he claims this is Dhamma, it must be compared with the suttas. And there is no mention of the Abhidhamma as we know it today in the original suttas of the Buddha. Even though there are certain monks who claim that the Dhamma includes the Abhidhamma, in this sutta it is very clear that Dhamma always refers to the suttas, and Vinaya refers to the few books of the Vinaya Tipitaka which concerns monks. The word Tipitaka or Tripitaka was never mentioned in the suttas, and it is a later a word that came later. I read to you the footnote here by the Pali Text Society. The footnote here says that there were evidently only two collections, Pitakas, but Abhidhamma is obviously a much later collection. Had there been any Pitakas at the time of the composition of this sutta, the word would surely have been used in it. So you see, the word Pitaka is never mentioned in the suttas as we know it today. And the word Tripitaka also never mentioned. And the other thing we should know is, in the second Sangha Council, which was held about 100 years after the Parinibbana of the Buddha, there were certain monks who claimed that they follow such and such a teaching because it was handed down to them from their teachers. And so it was decided at the second Sangha Council that if a certain monk gets a teaching from his teacher, then he should compare what his teacher teaches with the suttas and the Vinaya. And if it does not agree with the suttas and the Vinaya, then we should not follow the words of that teacher monk. Because our original teacher is the Buddha. That's why we take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. So it is very clear here, even nowadays, whatever senior monks teach, even if they are very well-known, very respectable monks, whatever they teach should be not taken on their word, but compared with the suttas and the Vinaya. That is why the foundation in the suttas is very, very important. Nowadays there is such a a lot of writings on the Buddha's teachings and so many different interpretations. That is very dangerous to put your faith in a teacher. It is better to put our faith in the original suttas of the Buddha. Another Sutta 5.21.201. Once when the Exalted One was dwelling near Kimbila in the bamboo grove, the Venerable Kimbila visited him and after saluting sat down at one side. So seated he spoke thus to the Exalted One. Lord, what is the cause, what is the reason whereby when the Exalted One has passed away completely, true Dhamma, Sat Dhamma, does not become long-lasting? The Buddha said, suppose Kimbila, after the Tathagata has passed away completely, the monks and nuns, lay disciples, both men and women, live without reverence, without heed, without respect for the teacher, without respect, without heed for Dhamma, without respect, without heed for Sangha, for the training, without respect, without heed for one another. This is the cause, this is the reason whereby when the Tathagata has passed away completely, true Dhamma does not become long-lasting. And what, Lord, is the cause, the reason whereby after the Tathagata has passed away, true Dhamma becomes long-lasting? Suppose Kimbila, monks and nuns, laymen and lay women disciples, respect and give heed to the teacher, the Dhamma, the Sangha, the training, revere and give heed to one another. This is the cause, the reason whereby when the Tathagata has passed away, true Dhamma becomes long-lasting. That's the end of the sutta. This is one of the suttas which tries to say why the true Dhamma, the discourses of the Buddha, does not last long. Here is saying that the first three, without respect for the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Without respect for the Buddha means probably that instead of recognizing our Buddha, people revere other Buddhas. Instead of acknowledging our teacher is the Buddha, we look to others, other beings to respect as the teacher. Without reverence for the Dhamma is that we don't take the Dhamma Vinaya as our teacher. In the suttas, the Buddha said, we should take the Dhamma Vinaya as our teacher. We should always try to learn what is in the Dhamma and the Vinaya and be heedful of the teachings there. The third one is no respect for the Sangha. There might be some reason for this. Perhaps some people the Sangha perhaps might not be practicing well, might not keep the precepts very well, and people lose respect for the Sangha, and that would cause a decline. But we have to remember, we lay people are supposed to support the Sangha to keep the Sasana, Buddha Sasana going. So the Buddha said, if in the future, even if those who wear the yellow robes are corrupt, still if you support the Sangha, then the merit is still very great because you help to perpetuate the Sangha. By helping to perpetuate the Sangha, even if at a certain time the Sangha is corrupt, it is possible later on that Arahants will still be around. Whereas if you don't support the Sangha is terminated, cut off, then there is not possible for good monks to appear later. No reverence for the training, it's the training of the monk's life, keeping the precepts, etc. And without heed for one another is we don't live in harmony. If we don't live in harmony, that is one cause for the true Dhamma to pass away. There are other reasons given in other suttas, but we'll just stop here for the moment.